How about these names on the left side of your screen? Looking for their first Camping World Truck Series win and where they're running now.
Oh, we got a spinner on the front straightaway. He's going to hit the wall. Golly.
66, Justin Marks. Hard into that inside wall. So the front end of his truck totaled.
Man, that's a shame. You come to Iowa and figure out a way to find the only wall that doesn't have safer barrier on it. He broke that wall. What do you figure he's running when he gets to that wall? Phil, about 100 miles an hour?
I would say at least 100 miles an hour. Probably speeds of upwards of 150 miles an hour in the straightaway. But obviously sliding like that, he scrubbed off a lot of speed. But boy, that thing hits about as square as it can hit.
You can see how much damage it did to that truck and the wall. Luckily, it gave a little. Just think that took away some of the shock to Justin's body.
And he acted somewhat like a safer barrier.
And a trouble. Oh, we have a car upside down, rolling down the racetrack. That's the number 48 car, driven by Greg Sachs.
Looks like
also
Lake Speed.
Lake Speed also involved. Greg Sachs' car on its top. However, we can see movement inside the cockpit. We believe there's a small fire burning in the engine compartment.
He pulled his helmet off to
this in turn
because the radio.
In turn number 1, and again we're going to be delayed considerably because the wall has given away once again.
Wow. Okay, let's take a look at what did happen. As he went into turn 1, he was on the outside. It looks like Lake Speed might have lost an engine. At least he lost the car, and Greg hit him, and they both head to that wall. Greg Sachs hit it hard with the right front, and then the car gets upset and starts rolling over as they come down off of the wall. Barrel rolling. Look how high it goes into there, comes back down. Over and over.
For Winston Cup cars and how strong they are. Look at that thing.
You can see the fire, Benny, under the hood.
He believes that Mike Bliss is going to make a run at Kyle Busch. There's a chance they may get together, and they're going to give Hornaday the go button and tell him ready to go. There's a caution coming off 4. Big crash. 09 gets slammed into there.
Slammed into Andy Lally in the 0-0. Yeah, the 09 came across the racetrack. Andy Lally nowhere to go, was forced into the inside wall, and now Andy Lally will have a little bit of a hard time getting out of that truck.
Jacques Villeneuve, the 27. He's the truck that made contact with Stacy Compton. See, he turns Stacy around. Stacy tries to, he's got the wheels cut to the left. When he clears that 27 truck, it pulled him right down in front of Andy Lally. And what hard contact.
That's concrete, too.
Yeah, no safer barrier down there.
No safer barrier there.
Watch this now. You see that the wheels are turned, and Andy's coming along there. He thinks he's completely clear, but look at it break the inside wall there.
Broke the concrete on the wall.
It shows you how hard a hit that was.
That was a big, big hit. Now, I guess the big question would be, will they have to repair that wall before we go back to racing?
They'll have to make some sort of attempt to repair it.
Oh, one car in the wall. Hermie Sadler has popped the wall hard coming down the main straightaway, so we've got a caution.
Also broke the wall there. This is going to be a long caution here. He hit very, very hard.
Boy, that crewman hit pretty hard, too, but that's a tough place to hit right He hit right at the gate there, and it knocked part of the gate down. Mike McLaughlin takes advantage to come onto pit road, as does Elton Sawyer. McLaughlin running 6th at the moment. Sawyer in the 38th running in 14th spot. Take you back a moment ago. Let's show you this one more time. Hermie Sadler had bounced off the outside wall. And there's the lick to the inside wall. We'll listen to it now and take a listen to this from our in-car camera.
If that is indeed, they may be looking at left sides while they're getting fuel, depending on how long they're going to be out there.
Yeah, that's what I would be looking at.
Oh, trouble. Gosh, what a hard.
Ryan Newman, hard into the wall. Michael McDowell, hard into the wall.
Caution's out, caution's out.
Terrible crash.
That 31 hit the safer barrier. That's the guardrail where the 95 did, but the 31, reminiscent of Jeff Burton was driving this 31 car a few years ago. Destroyed the guardrail right there where McDowell hit it.
Wow.
Yeah, you look right over here, you see, looks like Ryan Newman overran that corner just a little bit. You see quite a few cars over there. So come back on the track. Contact between Biffle and Newman. Yes, Biffle came back on the track. Newman was right there. Got into him. and hard into that guardrail, and the tires sends him back out in the middle of the track here into McDowell. You see the rear end housing loose from the car, and then it goes over the fence.
Take a look at what happened here in Busch Series practice on Thursday. Mike Harmon comes off of turn 2, hits the crossover gate, and then slams into the wall. His car is hit by Johnny Sauter. Here it is again. The car virtually disintegrates, and then Sauter hits what's left. One more time, you can see the driver's compartment inside the roll cage. That's what protected Harmon. Then Sauter comes by and hits what's left of the car. Moments later, the miracle. Mike Harmon climbed out of that car uninjured. Track officials said the crossover gate was not properly secured at the time. Mike Harmon starts 42nd tonight with a provisional, and Dave Burns is with him.
Behaved themselves so far anyway, but you still got to get through 2 and 3 on the first lap.
Ricky Rudd gets the jump. He's the early leader. Oh, trouble! Steve Park is off into the infield. Another car involved over on his lid. It's Parkindale Jr. Terrible crash.
NASCAR and some folks at the University of Nebraska are working on making a softer wall, a safer wall. And what they're talking about is a wall like that that gives on impact rather than just sits there and makes the car and driver absorb all the energy. Watch the yellow car back there just turn left.
And when you hit wet grass, it feels like you pick up 200 mile an hour.
But you can see how that barrier gave way when
Absolutely.
that car got into it.
That barrier absorbed a lot of energy.
Bad crash over in turn 2. Michael Waltrip has hit the wall hard. The car is upside down. And you can see the car is really torn up. Well, Jerry, I said it's sort of on its side, or, boy, yes, it is upside down.
They're fixing up that gate where Michael hit over there. Let's take a look one more time and give that Kool-Aid man on the hood of that Pontiac a wild ride. Just coming out of turn 2, that's the crossover gate, and Michael hits the juncture of the gate and the concrete wall that begins the back straightaway. The car is literally sawed open, and you see the steering wheel now sticking out to the left side of the car, and this is what's left of Michael Waltrip's Kool-Aid Country Time Pontiac.
No brakes.
We'll see it here. Now watch him. He hits the inside retaining wall. That's the car up in the middle of your screen. Hits the Die Hard 500 sign. Shoots through a guardrail right here. Goes right on through it. Mows it down. Still at top speed and hits another fence and then the guardrail and finally comes to rest.
He had to be going 100 miles an hour when he hit the end of that guardrail and then went over to the second guardrail where he finally came to a stop.
And there we go! No! Steve Grissom with a horrible crash and fire on the racetrack.
It's knocked the gas tank out of the 41 car. That's what we see blazing over there. Is I think the gas tank is over against the wall. Right there is the white car. And Spencer sideways, and Steve Grissom trying to dodge Spencer. Just all of a sudden, boom, and look at the car go up in the air. That's the Mike Skinner car. Yep. Mike Skinner and Steve Grissom tried to dodge Skinner. I mean, the 23 car of Spencer. And look, there's the gas tank.
Yes.
Hang on a second. I'll show you this gas tank, folks, as it goes across the racetrack. Right up there is the gas tank.
And it makes contact. It impacts the wall and then splits open, and the fire begins.
I think other cars will go through there, and the exhaust is going to ignite. There we see that car. That's Mike Wallace's Spam car. Goes through the gasoline and ignites it as it goes through.
And there is Kenny Wallace as he goes through also. May have made contact there with Grissom's car as it still has not stopped rolling or pirouetting. And the wall just, there is where Grissom made contact with that inside wall, and it split it right in two in several places.